Greetings and salutations from Carnegie Mellon University for tonight's WPIAL Class 6A matchup between the hosting Central Catholic Vikings and the visiting Seneca Valley Raiders. Hello everybody, I'm Brennan Rosside, joined by my partner Nick Jovanovich, as we are getting set for Class 6A matchups between the Vikings and the Raiders. Both teams 4-1 overall, 2-0 in Class 6A play. We're in store for a good matchup here, Nick.
Yeah, we most certainly are. I mean, we had Central Catholic last week take on a North Allegheny team that's had a really front-loaded schedule. Seneca Valley can't necessarily say the same. I mean, they've had a really good win against Pine Richland, but, you know, a little bit of padding in the schedule with Hempfield and Norwin, people that before the start of the year thought were kind of, you know, toward the bottom of 6A. So this will be a really, really good test for Seneca Valley, and for Central Catholic, just going to keep marching on and see if they do what they do.
Yeah, looking at Seneca Valley's schedule, coming off of a 49-0 defeat over Hempfield 2 weeks ago. They were supposed to play at Norwin last week. That game was postponed due to a COVID outbreak over at Norwin. Seneca Valley also had wins over North Hill 17-7 and a thrilling 24-20 win over Pine Richland. The Lone Raider loss was in week 0 to Moon, but that's also Central Catholic's only loss, that coming to a very stout MOTEP charter school in the Western PA versus Everyone Showcase at the Wolverina, 12-6 in that game. And ever since then, the Vikings have been on a tear. 48-7 over Penn Hills, 49-35 over Pine Richland, 50-0 over Norwin, and last week beating up on North Allegheny thanks to a punishing running game led by
go for the injured Antonio Pitts. Carruthers, you know, if you ever saw the Longest Yard remake, he kind of looked like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Even though he's not nearly as big, he was just so bruising and punishing. And, you know, a little bit of room up front from, you know, Alessino and Hinish on that left side especially. You know, I'll be curious to see how much they get Carruthers and how early they get him involved tonight.
And another big storyline coming into tonight, it's 6A's #1 rushing attack led by Gannon Carruthers against the #1 passing attack in Class 6A. The Raiders are an aerial show led by quarterback Graham Hancock's 807 yards through 4 games, 49 for 87, 7 touchdowns, 4 picks. That included a 260-yard performance against Hempfield 2 weeks ago. And he's got a plethora of options to go to.
He sure does. And on the outside, you know, one of his top options is Luke Lawson. A lot of people might recognize him for basketball season. Again, a big target at 6'3", 200 pounds, but he can certainly go up and get the ball. You also have the speedster Brandon Ross on the other side, too. So definitely some options for Mr. Hancock's there.
Central Catholic won the toss. It elects to receive. The Vikings will go from right to left on your screen. The Raiders will defend the scoreboard side of Jessling Stadium here on the campus of Carnegie Mellon University. We're glad you can make us a part of your Friday evening. I'm Brennan Rossai. He's Nick Jovanovich, and we're set for Class 6A WPIL football between the Raiders and the Vikings. Your kicker for Seneca Valley is Camden Bush. And back deep to receive for Pittsburgh Central Catholic, Brandon Jackson, the junior Olympic sprinter. And, of course, the workhorse, Gannon Carruthers, who I'm sure we're going to be calling a lot of here tonight.
But Brandon Jackson as well, I mean, he is lightning in a bottle. Again, it was second-team all-conference last year, but he can absolutely fly. So when given the chance, you better watch out for number 10.
And Bush with the run-up in the kick, and we're underway. End over end, line drive kick, fielded by Jackson at the 10-yard line, far numbers. And Jackson has a crease and gets out to the 37-yard line, where he's gang tackled down at the 37-yard line. That's where PCC starts. 1st and 10 with the stop made by Dylan Gallagher. But Central Catholic set up with good starting field position after a 38-yard return.
38 yards. I mean, it was
for 28.
I was gonna say, but it seemed like 38 because just of how effortless he runs and how much ground he could cover in such a short amount of time.
Vikings come out with their quarterback Peyton Weiner. He'll be flanked with Gannon Carruthers as the sidecar to his left, and we'll get the rest of the starting offense after this play as Weiner throws a screen pass to Brandon Jackson, slips free, and Jackson turns on the Jets. Jackson spins his way down inside the 40-yard line. It's a first down on the first play of the game for PCC.
Just a simple little swing pass to Jackson in the flat, but he got some really nice help from wide receivers. Vernon Settles among them with a really, really nice block, the transfer out of Elizabeth forward.
Jackson and Settles in at receiver alongside Peter Gonzalez and Brady Kazera. As Wayner, we have some movement along the offensive line, and that'll stop play with 11:35 to play in the first quarter. It'll be an illegal procedure against Central Catholic.
A little too anxious there.
Red ball, false start, offense, 5 yards, show first down.
So now 1st and 15 from the 43-yard line for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Josh Altsman also in at tight end, your offensive line from left to right. Matt Alessino, Jackson Farrell, Gabe Primrose, Drayvon Wilkins, and Andrew Fontana. Wayner barks out signals to his offensive line, goes in the shotgun. Man in motion is Altsman, the 6'4" senior. And another screen pass to Jackson again on the opposite side. We got flags thrown, and Jackson takes off. Jackson out of the sticks. And he's bumped out, may have stepped out of bounds just before the 30-yard line. But we'll wait and see what the flag is behind the play.
Also something to keep an eye on. Jackson coming up gimping there. I think when he got tripped up, and might have rolled his ankle potentially, so we got to see what's going on with him.
Central Catholic not afraid to throw the ball. Traditionally has been a running team. We saw last week against North Allegheny, Pittsburgh Central Catholic threw the ball 13 times in the first quarter.
Offense, 10 yards from the spot.
And this will back the Vikes up 10 more.
Yeah, definitely not the start you want after that nice play at the beginning. And we're getting some scoring updates here in the press box. Mount Lebanon is up on North Allegheny 21-0 with about 5 minutes left in the second quarter. So definitely implications for Central Catholic on the line and Seneca Valley as well.
First down and forever for Central Catholic. This is 27 yards to go. Wayner in the shotgun again. Get our first carry for Gannon Carruthers, and he gets suplexed to the turf right across the Carnegie Mellon logo as he's wrestled down to the turf by T.J. Border, one of the 3 linebackers for Seneca Valley, alongside Willem and Wyatt Craver. It'll be second down and long.
Kind of makes you think they had Josh Altsman uncovered in the slot there, but chose to still run the option with Carruthers.
Second and long for Central Catholic at the 48. 2 receivers set to each side. Wayner throws it down the middle and passes incomplete, looking for Altsman. He was covered heavily by Chris DiApollonia.
Yeah, DiApollonia very, very good because Carruthers wanted to go over that outside shoulder, but he was able to dip underneath and, disrupt the route from Altsman. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and long.
Starting defensive line for Seneca Valley, Brian Olin and Aiden Leisig, your defensive ends. On the defensive tackle positions, Alex Paulson and Logan Armstrong. Secondary, Joe Babusi and Wayne Peart in the corners. Luke Lawson, the strong safety. Dylan Gallagher, the free safety. 3 receivers to the near side. One of them goes in motion in Altsman. As Wayner hands off to Carruthers. Nothing there. As Carruthers is spun to the ground by the 6'4" junior Aiden Leisig for no gain.
Yeah, definitely not the start you want for the Central Catholic Vikings, but let's hope for their sake that number 38, Matt Shear, can come in and pin the Raiders deep in their own territory.
Matt Shear just recently picked up an offer from Bucknell last night, a preferred walk-on. And he's been tremendous as the special teams guy for Central Catholic, averaging 33 yards per punt. He takes the punt, and it's an end-over-end kick. Waving fair catch is that return man for Seneca Valley. And fielding it is Nolan Dworick, and Seneca Valley will start 1st and 10 from its own 24.
All I've heard all week is about this passing attack from Seneca Valley, so I want to see if they actually have it. Again, we talked pregame a little bit about some of their targets they have, Luke Lawson, Brandon Ross, and so forth, but I'll be very, very curious to see, how many shots Hancock's takes early here.
Hancock's, of course, the quarterback. Your receivers, as Nick mentioned, Ross, Lawson, alongside them, Hemer and Rape, alongside Wetzel and West. Tight end is Aiden Leisig as the H-back alongside Wyatt Craver. Hancock signals out some directions to his running back. That's Nolan Dworick going to his left side now as they give the ball off to Dworick. We're along the right side. Dworick has an avenue, and Dworick may have been stripped by Carruthers. He was. Carruthers picks it up for Central Catholic.
What a play by Carruthers on the defensive side of the ball this time. On the extended option, Carruthers just rips the ball out of his hand. And a very, very good play for the Central Catholic defense.
Gannon Carruthers went right for the ball, and he just ripped it right out of the grasp of Nolan Dworak. Seneca Valley not known as a running team, but they go run on the first play, and it backfires. Central Catholic takes over from the Seneca Valley 38-yard line.
So this is about where their initial drive was going to be. So after the punt and that change of possession there, they're going to get started here yet once more.
Wayner sends J.D. Younger in motion. He'll be the third receiver on the far side alongside Jackson and Oltzman. As he throws, Wayner does. Complete. Vernon settles down the middle. 10, 5, touchdown Vikes. A 38-yard scamper from the quarterback Wayner to the receiver Settles. And Central Catholic is up early, 6-0.
Great job by Vernon Settles there as he was able to find the hole right between the corner and the safety as they were playing a two-deep shell. And then he made that safety miss, and it was off to the races for number 32, the sophomore, Vernon Settles.
Matt Shearer on to attempt the extra point for Central Catholic. The holder is Peyton Wayner, who just threw the 38-yard dart. And here's the kick for Matt Shearer, and it splits the uprights and good. So with 9:24 to go in the first quarter, it's Central Catholic 7 and Seneca Valley nothing after the 38-yard score from Peyton Wayner to Vernon Settles.
Central Catholic came into the game wanting to run the ball, and they score with, again, a 38-yard passing touchdown. Seneca Valley, meanwhile, the very first play they have, instead of passing the ball as they're accustomed to doing, they run and the turnover, and the Vikings are the beneficiary. Again, an absolutely gorgeous night here on the campus of Carnegie Mellon University as the Central Catholic kickoff team getting their last marching orders here.
Yeah, Seneca Valley not off to the strongest of starts defensively. They did get the stop, however, they fumbled on the first play from scrimmage. It was recovered and stripped by Gannon Carruthers, and then it was Vernon Settles doing the rest. As Shearer will get set to kick it away for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Back deep for Seneca Valley is Kai West and Nolan Dworak. West is a dangerous kickoff man. He did return a kick for a touchdown in the season opener against Moon. He went 83 yards going coast to coast for Seneca Valley in that game.
And again, that season opening loss actually for Seneca Valley was the last time they had a loss. So now they find themselves down. Let's see if they can bounce back or if it's going to be Central's night tonight.
And Shearer end over end. It'll be taken out of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback as Kai West tried to bring it out, but the referees caught him. So Seneca Valley will start 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, high school rules prevent, for those of you who might not know, high school rules, if a ball is fielded in the end zone, it is automatically ruled a touchback, and there's no chance of a return.
So Seneca Valley will try to find a rebuttal to that first play from scrimmage. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line with 9:22 to go in quarter number 1. Now, Central Catholic in the regular season series has won 9 straight games. Seneca Valley did take one in the 2018 WPIL quarterfinals. As first throw for Hancock, it's a screen to Brandon Ross on the far side, and Ross gets out towards the far sticks, and he's pushed out of bounds by Gannon Carruthers and Devin Barron, another safety who will be calling a lot. Barron, the senior, has an offer from Navy amongst other schools, but Seneca Valley back up to the line, 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, something to watch out is Seneca Valley really wants to move quickly here, so we got to be careful if you're the Vikings.
Hancock throws again to Ross, same direction, and Ross takes a tumble, and he stretches his way close to the first down marker. May have been short by a yard. They're going to mark him down at the 28, so a pickup of 1 officially, and it's 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, a little bit slower here now as they want to make sure they get this 3rd down, but if you're the Vikings, you just got to play straight up, not allow anything over the top.
Hancock will take it himself. Hancock has nowhere to go. As soon as he took the direct snap, he was met by Robert Fulton, the junior.
Yeah, Robert Fulton from his defensive end position just absolutely firing back into the backfield. And a big stop on 3rd down for the Vikings defense.
And that'll bring up the punt team for Seneca Valley. Your punter is Brian Olin. And back deep, the duo of Jackson and Carruthers. Olin takes the snap, kicks it from the sideline. It's a sky-high punt, doesn't go far at all. And where are they going to march it out on?
That's going to be roughly
the 37-yard line.
Like a 10-yard punt.
That is a 10-yard punt exactly, so not the best of turn of events for Seneca Valley. They give up the fumble, give up the score, go 3 and out, and then the short punt.
I was going to make the point that when, Jackson and Carruthers are both back there, it was going to be like, which one of these two do you kick to?
Right.
So they tried to directionally kick, and he directionally kicked it maybe 10 yards in front of the line of scrimmage. So not quite the execution you're looking for from the special teams of the Raiders.
1st and 10, Central Catholic from the Seneca Valley 38-yard line, trips to the near side. Handoff, Gannon Carruthers has a hole. Carruthers spins his way close to the 30-yard line where he's tabletop down by Dylan Gallagher.
Yeah, very nice job by that interior line for about a 6-7 yard gain for Carruthers, and we're going to be seeing a couple more of those here throughout the course of the game.
2nd down and 3 for the Vikes at the 31. Handoff again, Gannon Carruthers has some trouble and spins his way around Alex Paulson, and Carruthers has 1st down yardage. But what a move by Carruthers, waiting at the line, and as soon as Paulson made contact, he was able to spin his way free and pick up 1st down yardage.
Yeah, Paulson, the 5'11", 220-pound senior, thought he had him in the backfield dead to rights, but wouldn't be so.
And we have a player jumping off sides. It's Logan Armstrong, the guilty party, and this will set up a 1st and 5 from the 23 for Central Catholic.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, 5 yards, 1st down.
So Central moving the ball swimmingly through the first couple of plays in this drive.
The referees are going no huddle, too. They're making this game move. They'd like this 8 o'clock kickoff.
1st down and 5 for Central Catholic at the 23. Wayner in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the far side, and they throw the screen. Jackson has it. Jackson has some blocks. Jackson can't get around the blocker, and he's tripped up at the 10-yard line. This will set up a 1st and goal for Pittsburgh Central Catholic.
One of the things that's really impressive about Brandon Jackson, again, he is a senior, so he's seen quite a few snaps in his day, but for as fast as he is, being able to be patient and allow some of those blocks to develop before he just takes off.
Jackson runs a 4.33 40-yard dash, so he'll be tough to catch up to.
Yeah, it's okay.
Especially at the high school level. 1st and goal from the 10. Wayner under center. Long handoff to Carruthers, right side. Carruthers has some room. He dives, bulldozes his way. Touchdown, Central Catholic.
No doubt about that one. They had an unbalanced line to the right. J.D. Younger getting out with a key kick-out block there. And that will put the Vikings up temporarily 13-0 with a Matt Shear extra point on the way.
Shear on to attempt the extra point. The holder is Wayner. The snapper is Anthony Shovlin. Central Catholic up quickly over Seneca Valley. 13-0, looking to make it 14-0. As Shearer does. 14-0 Vikings, 6:54 to go in the first quarter. And Nick, we've seen Central Catholic out to a blazing fast start thanks to a combination of some strong execution offensively and some Seneca Valley gaffes.
Absolutely. I mean, Seneca Valley gaffes, the very first play from scrimmage. Again, they came in as the top passing offense in 6A. What do? They run an extended draw option to the right. Gannon Carruthers strips him, and then he sets up that 38-yard score to Vernon Settles. The very next possession they get after that directional kick that went wayward, about 10, 12 yards net. Here they go again, march down the field. No problem for the Vikings.
The Vikings scoring drive covered 38 yards in 5 plays, capped off by a 10-yard Gannon Carruthers run.
As Gannon Carruthers scores his 9th rushing touchdown of the season. The first touchdown was a Vernon Settles 38-yard pass from Peyton Wayner. That was his first score of the season, and Wayner's 6th touchdown throw of the year as well. Matt Shearer will kick off for the Vikings, and back deep for Seneca Valley again. Dworick alongside West, that being Kai West.
Yeah, we had the ball fall off the tee and a gust of wind here at Gessling Stadium.
Small gust, but
a gust no less.
Yes. As Shearer will line up for the kick. He's one of several great kickers to come through Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Another end-over-end kick, sidewinds down to the 2-yard line. It'll be fielded there by Kai West, and Kai West makes a man miss. West, Powell drives his way to the 25-yard line where he's gang tackled by several Central Catholic Vikings. Leading the way is Brady Kazera, and Seneca Valley will start 1st and 10. Ball will be spotted. We'll call it the 26.
Yeah, Kai West thought he maybe had something there, but one too many jukes, and the rest of the Vikings special teams unit caught up to him. So.
And speaking of the Seneca Valley offense, we didn't get through the offensive line, which from left to right is Devin Webb, Lucas Lambert, Ben Carell, Owen Moran, and Cade Matthews. On Central Catholic's defensive line, Matt Alcino at defensive end, Donovan Heinisch, the future Notre Dame Fighting Irishman, Elias Karanikos, and Robert Fulton going from left to right. But Central Catholic showing a 3-4 look. Hancock's back to throw. He's got some time. Throws and not in sync with his receiver, Nick Heemer. The turf monster got him on the curl route, trying to curl back out from the 40-yard line. And this will set up a 2nd and 10.
So Robert Fulton for the Vikings playing defensive end. He had the big third stop down on the last play. This very first play, they double-teamed him, and the running back chipped off of him. So they're definitely paying attention to number 41 down there on the end.
Hancock's the lone man in the backfield. He stands 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Dworak in motion now goes as the sidecar. It's a read option. And it's going to Graham Hancox. He gets out to the 28, nothing more, as he's brought down by J.D. Younger, one of the outside linebackers for Central Catholic. Has a couple of offers, including Duquesne and Bucknell. And it's 3rd down and 8. Central Catholic has stopped Seneca Valley on its only 3rd down to this point. See if they can get another stop here.
Yeah, despite all the available bodies, Central Catholic has J.D. Younger going both ways, and he had a key block on that Carruthers touchdown run on the last drive.
3rd and 8. Hancock's back to throw. Has some pressure in his face. Pass is intercepted at the 50-yard line. And going the other way with it is Xavier Thomas, and Thomas brings it out to the 32. The freshman has the interception for Central Catholic.
That was actually number 26, Corbin Edge. Oh, Xavier Thomas. They had a number change. Excuse me. But, yeah, great play as he sitting in that safety pocket. Hancock saw pressure in his face, and he was able to find it and get a pretty decent return on it, too, as they're starting at the 33-yard line of the Raiders.
It's a 16-yard return by Xavier Thomas, who I've heard a lot of good things about as a freshman, his 2nd INT of the year. And Central Catholic will start again 1st and 10 at the 33. Wayner looks to throw. Left side, throws it deep. He's got Altsman in stride. Touchdown, Vikings.
Just a real easy pitch and catch between Wayner and the senior tight end, Altsman. I'll tell you what, for a sophomore, Peyton Wayner, the poise in the pocket is tremendous.
And Central Catholic is rolling. 5:42 to go in the first quarter. It's been all Vikes. As that time he got it out to his tight end, Josh Altsman, his 2nd score of the season, this time from 33 yards out. And Wayner is in perfect unison with his receiving core here tonight. As Shear on the extra point, a little bit of pressure, but still booms it through. And it's good for a 21-0 Central Catholic lead with 5:42 to go in the first quarter. Stay tuned on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Sports Network.
There's a bond among Central people that extends far beyond the 4 years that you spend at this wonderful institution. Should I start with the necktie? That necktie sends a message to a young person who may be immature that there's something beyond you, and this necktie is a symbol of the fact that you had better embrace that something that's bigger than you. You can't replace that. You can't quantify it. You can't draw a picture of it. I'll hear about a Pittsburgh celebrity or a national celebrity, and somebody will say, you know, he's a Central guy. And I would say, I didn't know that. As soon as that Central Catholic word comes out of somebody's mouth, there's a...
And we're back at Jesling Stadium in Carnegie Mellon University. Shearer on to kick off for Central Catholic, who leads 21-0 over Seneca Valley. It's a line drive kick. That'll be fielded by Ross at the 21. Ross gets out and takes a hard lick on the play by Antonio Pitts and another Central Catholic Viking. As Seneca Valley will set up shop 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Well, let's see if this Raiders offense can get out of the gate and maybe give a little bit of a contest here for the Central Catholic defense that has 2 turnovers already here in just the first 7 or 8 minutes of the game.
Seneca Valley has not collected a first down yet as they've run 7 plays to this point, 2 turnovers, a fumble and an interception, as the Central Catholic defense has been staunch to this point. Hancock's the lone man in the backfield. Hancock's all sorts of trouble. He's sacked. Donovan Heinisch brings him down.
Yeah, they really wanted to set up that screen pass, but you at least have to chip the guys in front of you before you just let them free to release. So a big loss for the Raiders offense there on first down.
8-yard loss on the sack. Donovan Heinisch collects his 4th sack of the season. He's heading to Notre Dame next year alongside his brother Kurt Heinisch as he's continuing the Whipfield to Notre Dame connection that's gone on over the past few seasons. Handoff to Dworick, left side, sheds free from a tackle but loses his footing. Credit the stop to Matt Olasino over on that far side. So no gain officially, 3rd and long for the Raiders.
So the first time they ran that play, Carruthers stripped him. The second time it was no gain, and they're lucky that it was no gain, and he got back to the line of scrimmage. Not sure if I'd call that one again anytime soon.
Well, Seneca Valley on the offensive line, averaging about 6 foot, 6'1". Their biggest lineman is Lucas Lambert at 6'3", 245. The heaviest is Correll, the center, at 280. He's the only player that holds an offer. He has one to Grove City. Hancock takes the snap, looks deep. Hancock has a receiver open. It's Lysak as he dives forward to the 50-yard line, and that's the first down of the night for Seneca Valley. It's a good one. Yeah,
Aiden Lysak, the 6'4 junior, ran that seam route and found himself right in between both safeties. A really good ball placement by Hancock.
1st and 10 at midfield as Seneca Valley going quickly to the line. 1st and 10. And Hancock looks to his right. Pass complete to Heemer. And Heemer wiggles free from a defender, at least momentarily. That's Malachi Missouri splitting out from an outside linebacker to a corner, and that'll move the sticks again. 1st and 10 for Seneca Valley at the 40.
Yeah, this Raiders offense really wants to move quickly as they can feel momentum switching. The chain gang wasn't even set up yet on that last play.
Now they're set up as Dwora goes out as the lone receiver to the near side. Hancock looks deep. He's got time, and the pass is dumped off complete to Luke Lawson, his first reception, but he's got nowhere to go as he's brought down by Josh Altsman. Make that Anthony Specca. First time we're calling Specca's name tonight. He was a freshman All-American by Max Preps last season, and he'll be one of the top linebackers in the nation in the next couple of years.
Yeah, with offers already from Pitt, Penn State, Notre Dame, and Michigan, just to name a few.
Dworick takes the handoff right to left. Dworick's got some room, and Dworick lowers the shoulder and gets out to the 25-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Coach Ron said to his offense before they went out, but they definitely look like a much different unit than the first couple of drives.
Seneca Valley led by head coach Ron Bushley in his 5th year in his 2nd stint, but Hancock's lost it. It's stripped and picked up. This will go coast to coast. Robert Fulton.
What a play by the junior defensive end. Wow.
65 yards on the return, and Seneca Valley was just simply not ready for it. Fulton took it back for the Central Catholic touchdown.
The 3rd turnover forced by the Central Catholic defense. Definitely not how they thought this game was going to go, that's for sure.
As a matter of fact, I don't even think Seneca Valley thought it was a live ball. I saw a bunch of players over on the far side, coaches included, just kind of standing around with their hands up in the air thinking, what just happened?
Well, it was weird because Fulton met, I believe it was Alicino in the backfield, and the ball came out, and they thought that maybe Hancock was already ruled down, but Fulton making a great play, scooped, scored, and he waited until he heard a whistle and got pay dirt.
And Matt Shearer is busy tonight with his 4th extra point attempt as Robert Fulton will get lauded by his teammates on the near sideline. Central Catholic up 27-0 over Seneca Valley. And the extra point is good. 4 for 4 is Shearer. 2:42 to go in quarter number 1. It's Central Catholic 28, and Seneca Valley nothing. And this has been, well, it's been a beatdown to say the least.
Yeah, definitely not the game that we thought we were going to see as we were, getting our notes together before the game started. I definitely did not think it would be the Central Catholic defense being our storyline here tonight.
3 turnovers in the first quarter, Nick, as we mentioned, and one of them, well, all of them leading to scores. One of them was a defensive touchdown. We had the fumble recovered by Carruthers that was stripped by him. We had the interception earlier by Xavier Thomas, which led to a 5-play, 38-yard or 33-yard touchdown drive. And then just now, Robert Fulton going coast to coast on a play Seneca Valley just seemed lost out of words for.
And it's interesting, too, because they were really starting to make some headway on that drive. And, again, it just all taken away from them in a matter of moments. So 28-0 with 2:42 still in the first quarter.
And we still got 2:42 to go in this first quarter. As Shearer now, is that Shearer? Yes, it is Shearer.
Yep.
He'll line up to kick it away again. Back deep is Kai West and Nolan Dworick.
Well, let's see if the Seneca Valley special teams can make a little bit of noise here.
As the kick end over end, fielded at the 5-yard line by Kai West. Kai West gets out to the near sideline, slips free, and West still on his feet, and he's bumped out of bounds finally by Malachi Missouri. And Kai West gives Seneca Valley some pretty decent field position at the 34-yard line, but let's hope, at least if you're a Seneca Valley fan, that they're hoping to hold on to the football.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be the biggest thing that Coach Bushley is saying over there. Again, they did have some decent momentum on that last drive, but then the very awkward strip sack that Fulton was able to convert on. We'll see what Hancock's and the boys in white can do here.
First and 10 from the 34-yard line. Trips to the far side. Lone receiver is Dworick on the near. He's back in motion. He'll go as the sidecar to Graham Hancocks. Hancocks keeps, and that's a bad decision as Hancocks is stuffed behind the line by Robert Fulton.
So remember when I said that they ran that play twice, and the first time it was a turnover, the second time it was no gain, and they were lucky for that, and I said you probably shouldn't run that one again.
Well,
there's a 4-yard loss.
Second down, and we'll call it 13 now. The ball spotted at the 31-yard line. Hancocks with a 5-receiver set. Looks over the middle, passes complete, and the big hit by Specca. And Specca suplexes him for good measure. That's the receiver, Luke Lawson, hauling it in. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage and then some. It'll be 3rd down and 8 from the 36.
Yeah, Luke Lawson, it's the second crossing route he's ran in 2 consecutive drives, and I don't know if he's supposed to be as shallow as he is. So it'll be interesting to see if they try to adjust that as maybe their receiver coach takes a look at the secondary for the Vikings.
3rd down and 8 for the Raiders. Hancock's back to throw. He's pressured. J.D. Younger has him dead for rights. J.D. Younger went untouched, absolutely unaccounted for. And Seneca Valley knows that he's in the backfield now at least.
Yeah, and that right tackle, Caden Matthews, the 6'1 senior at right tackle, He's getting worked over today. He had Robert Fulton get an early 3rd down sack on the first drive of the game. Now he's letting J.D. Younger go untouched.
Brian Olin on the punt, a line drive punt. This will roll to Jackson. He bobbles but has it. Jackson looking to turn on the Jets at the 39-yard line. Jackson slips free, and he works his way to the far sideline where he's brought down at the 46-yard line in Raider territory by Nick Heemer. And Central Catholic back to work, 1st and 10, 47 ticks to talk in the first.
You know, there actually could have been a flag potentially for taunting by number 22, Robinson Waddell. He had a really nice kick-out block, but then he got up and started flexing on top of the Raider defender. So lucky for the Vikings that they didn't throw that flag.
Well, he's lucky that this isn't the NFL because he most certainly would have been thrown for a flag for that.
You got that one right.
1st and 10 from the 46-yard line for Central Catholic. The Vikings have scored on all 3 possessions, but they're up by 4 scores thanks to the defensive touchdown by Fulton. Carruthers barrels up the middle, right behind the center for Central Catholic, Gabe Primrose, and brings up a 2nd and 7. He's brought down by a band of Raiders at the 43.
Yeah, Gabe Primrose, the 6', 250-pound junior, doing a nice job commanding the interior of the line there tonight.
2nd and 7. Wayner looks for the screen and launches deep. Saddles out of his reach. If Wayner touched it just a little too much, then Settles would have gone 43 to the house, but alas, it's 3rd down and 7 after the misfire.
That's really too bad because Wayner had the little show and go where he pumped into the flat. They were holding on Jackson, which let Vernon Settles run free and just missed the outstretched arms of number 32 there.
3rd down and 7 for the Vikes. 19 seconds left in the first on a stopped first quarter clock. Central Catholic has rolled early. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. As Wayner gets the signal, it's an option. Gannon Carruthers has it. Carruthers has some blocks and jumps over a diving defender, Lawson, and gets first down yardage for the Vikes, but there is a flag right near the line of scrimmage at the 42.
Yeah, it's interesting. I talked before the show about how Carruthers was a really bruising back, but he had a really nice jump cut there. Shades of LaDainian Tomlinson from the San Diego Charger days.
We'll see what the flag is, but all indication is it's against the Vikings. And it is.
Peter Gonzalez there with the block in the back on the outside.
The son of former Pitt quarterback Pete Gonzalez.
I have his autograph in my room.
Oh, well, there you go. He's got an offer from Eastern Kentucky, Gonzalez, and he's just a sophomore.
Yeah, transferred in from Mars High School, actually. So in his first season with the Vikings, making a little bit of an impact here.
It'll be 3rd down and 16 from the Central Catholic 48-yard line.
3rd and 16 for the Vikings.
Let's see what Wayner and that Vikings offense has dialed up here.
And we'll have a timeout. Nope, we'll have the end of the quarter as a disastrous first quarter for Seneca Valley, but on the flip side, a marvelous first quarter for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. 28-0 after 1. We'll take a commercial break here on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings Sports Network.
At Central Catholic, being connected takes on a deeper meaning. Since 1927, these hallowed hallways have been responsible for connecting young men and forging everlasting values. At Central Catholic, being connected means being part of a brotherhood. Men who may come from different backgrounds and have different interests, but men who share a fundamental connection, the Central Catholic connection.
Third down and 16 for Central Catholic beginning the second quarter. It's Wayner dropping back. Gets a block from his left tackle, Alessino, and Wayner avoids some traffic, but he's nowhere near the first down. But he's got a flag behind him after a late hit by Seneca Valley. He was forced out by Devin Webb.
Yeah, and I think Lucas Lambert is going to be the culprit here for the late hit out of bounds.
Either way, regardless of who it's on, it's against Seneca Valley, and this should give Central Catholic at least close to a first down yardage, if it isn't. So if it's a 15-yarder, it will be a first down. The penalty is at the 49, and the first down marker is at the 36. And I think it is a 15-yard penalty, so this will be a Viking first down. Ball will be spotted at the 35-yard line.
Personal foul, defense, 15 yards, results in a first down.
You know, nobody asked me, but that was actually a 17-yard penalty. But good for the Vikings.
well, if they're marching at 15 yards from the spot of the foul, then the foul must have happened in midfield.
Yeah, there you go.
Nonetheless, 1st and 10 Vikings from the Seneca Valley 35. Wayner sends Altman in motion. Altman, the H-back, blocks for Carruthers as he goes to the right side, but he's stacked up at the line, brought down by Willem Craver and TJ Border.
You know, Carruthers does have that one rushing score. Obviously, he had that strip on the Raiders' first offensive play of the game, but fortunately for the Vikings offense, everything else has gone so right that you kind of forgot that Carruthers isn't having as impactful of the game as normal.
2nd down and 9 as Wayner attempts the hard count to no avail, so he'll get the call in from offensive coordinator Steve Bazila and his staff here at Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Handoff, Carruthers up the middle. And he bulldozes his way to the 30-yard line where he's brought down by a band of Raiders. Leading the way was Logan Armstrong.
You know, it's one of the things that impressed me about Carruthers is even though there might not be anything there, he does a very good job just lowering his head, trusting his offensive line, you know, Primrose, Wilkins, Alessino on the left especially, and just kind of following those big boys up front and letting them carve out a hole for him.
3rd down and 5 for Central Catholic. Ball is at the Seneca Valley 30-yard line. Vikings up 28-0 after 3 turnovers forced by the Viking defense.
You got trips uncovered up top. See if they exploit it.
2 guys in motion. That's an illegal procedure.
Yeah.
Timeout.
Or a timeout by Central Catholic. Okay. 10:27 to go in quarter number 2. Central Catholic up 28-0. Looking around Class 6A. Officially, all the teams in the WPIL, regardless of classification, are in conference play. And around 6A, we have Seneca Valley, of course, at Central Catholic. Other games, North Allegheny is at Mount Lebanon, thanks to folks over at North Allegheny. Nick, I'm sure you're familiar with a couple of them.
A couple of them, yes, sir.
But Mount Lebanon is up 21-7 at halftime over the Tigers. Hempfield is at Canon McMillan. And Norwin is over at Baldwin. Those are games happening around Class 6A. We'll get those score updates as the night moves along. But nonetheless, Central Catholic, a very strong performance to say the least, especially by the defense in the first quarter.
Yeah, definitely, again, what I didn't think we would be talking about here with 10:27 in the second. 1, holding a 28-0 lead, but 2, the defense being the primary contributor for that.
It's 3rd down and 5 for Central Catholic. Carruthers is the sidecar to the right, trips on the far side. Jackson, the lone receiver, to the near. He'll go in motion, does Jackson, as Wayner sets the screen. It's over Carruthers' head, but there's a flag as Wayner let go of the ball.
I think you maybe got a hold inside.
It's in the vicinity of a hold. So we'll wait and see what the call is from our officiating crew here at Carnegie Mellon.
And the Seneca Valley cheerleaders providing a little bit of entertainment because everybody in the booth is like, where's that music coming from?
10 yards. Repeat 3rd down.
They're going to take the penalty instead of decline and set up a 4th down. So this is not necessarily punting range, but Shearer does have a leg on him. His long this season is 46. So Seneca Valley taking a gamble, I guess you can say, by putting Central Catholic back at the 46. Still 3rd down. As Seneca Valley banking on the defense to get a stop.
With how well the Vikings have been moving the ball through the air, I'm not so sure I would have agreed to that. But
Wayner, 5-step drop, throws the deep ball, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Wayne Pearts at the 15-yard line, and Seneca Valley takes over 1st and 10 inside the 20.
Yeah, that's a rare mistake by the sophomore Wayner. He threw it right in between Settles and Altsman. Settles being in the slot, Altsman had ran the curl around him. And he just wasn't able to place it for one or the other, so neither one was really sure who was supposed to go for the ball.
Well, Seneca's defense was banking on a stop led by defensive coordinator J.P. McFeely over at Seneca Valley, and they got it with Wayne Peart getting the interception. That's the first pick of the season thrown by Peyton Wayner. And Seneca Valley, they'll bury it in its own territory. 1st and 10, they'll start at the 14.
Well, to make it through some of the competition that they've played already this year, for that to be his first interception of the year for the sophomore, I think that's pretty good.
He's 2nd in 6A among sophomores in passing yards, only behind Michael Evans of Canon McMillan. Handoff Dworick going from left to right, and Dworick tries to find a cutback lane. Nothing to be found as he's dumped down by Donovan Heinisch inside the 15. They'll mark him down right at the 15-yard line.
You know, Brandon, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but that extended draw to the right side, it's just not working. It's now the 4th time they've got literally 0 yards or worse.
2nd down and 9. Hancock's Has some time now, and he launches a deep ball, and it's caught by Nick Heemer at midfield. Gets it inside Central Catholic territory. We got a fight over on the near sideline as J.D. Younger throwing punches with Devin Webb. Nothing called, amazingly, but Seneca Valley will have a 1st and 10 at the Central Catholic 47.
The referee's standing right next to them, looking at it the entire time.
I was going to say,
they called nothing.
I saw J.D. Younger literally throwing punches, teeing off on him. But nonetheless, 1st and 10, 47-yard line. Hancock's deep ball right side and through the hands of the defending Thomas. He was looking for Heemer, and it's incomplete. Thomas had a pick earlier in the first quarter, that marvelous first quarter for Central Catholic, and Seneca Valley nearly throws another turnover.
Well, that was 2 plays in a row because that long pass play that Seneca Valley just had was at Thomas.
Yep.
So they tried to go at him again, maybe hoping that he was, tired and catch him off guard or something of the like. But we'll see what Hancock's going to do here on 2nd and 10.
Now we got 4 receivers set to the near side, 5 receivers total out on the field for the Raiders. Hancock's throws the slant, pass is dropped by Lawson.
Hancock's pass intended for
Interesting how we
Lawson,
talked before the game about how Luke Lawson, again, being 6'3", being able to go up and get balls, but he's only ran shallow crossing routes so far, so not sure what the strategy is behind that.
Well, Lawson, he leads 6A in receptions coming into tonight with 23. He's had 2 tonight, and 2 weeks ago he had 8 catches, 152 yards against Hempfield. That was the last time Seneca Valley played a game due to Norwin forfeiting due to COVID. Pass complete to Heemer. He's got 1st down yardage as he's pushed out of bounds inside the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Nick Heemer, the 6'4" senior, really turned it on for the Raiders offense here, and we'll see if they're able to do anything and cut into this Vikings lead that they've built up to this point.
Ball is at the 35-yard line of Central Catholic. Seneca Valley ball. Dworak in motion. Hancock's looks to throw quickly. Curl route complete to Nick Heemer, and Heemer is bumped down at the 28-yard line. There's a flag at the tackle.
Yeah. Something flew in there. I'm not sure what it was, though.
It's a yellow piece of laundry, which indicates a flag, but we'll see what the call is on. Indication is it's on Seneca.
Seneca's walking backwards, so.
Illegal block in the back.
There you go.
Offense, 10 yards, spot the foul, repeat 1st down.
So now it's 1st down and 13 from the 38-yard line for Seneca Valley.
Yeah, I got to talk to the Carnegie Mellon people and see what kind of mic they have for the referee because it's nice and loud and
It's
clear.
crystal clear. Yep.
So there's no second guessing what they're saying down there.
It's not like most high school stadiums you go to, and whenever they have the mics, you're like, wait, what did he say?
Exactly.
1st and 13 from the 38. Hancock's drops back, looks left. Pass complete. Lawson on the slant pattern on the shallow cross. And he gets out to the 32-yard line where he's spun down to the turf by Anthony Specca, the inside linebacker, down at the 32. And it's going to set up a 2nd down and 7 after the pickup of 6.
Yeah, Lawson kind of looking like Juju Smith-Schuster in there.
Randy Fiechner would be proud of the short passes. 2nd down and 7. And we got a timeout. No, we got a flag.
Penalty flags. I'm not sure if the motion man was set.
I don't think he was.
False start.
Nope.
55.
Oh.
Offense, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
That's the right guard, Owen Moran. Not getting set in time. And this will back the Raiders up to the 37. 2nd down and 12.
From the 37.
Yeah, the Raiders offense, anytime they get a little bit of momentum, they're shooting themselves in the foot here.
2nd down and 12. Hancock's deep drop back. And he waits, gets it out. Pass nearly picked off by Barron.
Ooh.
And Lawson bumps into a couple of defenders. Barron defends as he goes charging into Bo Waddell. And it's 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, Devin Barron made a little too late of a read. I think if he would have turned his head sooner, he probably could have picked that off, but no less got the pass defense and 3rd down and long facing the Raiders.
If you can't get the pick, the next best thing's an incompletion.
Knock it down. Yes, sir.
And it's 3rd down and 12 for Seneca Valley. 5 receivers set. Heemer's in motion as he'll get set on the near side. Hancock's will throw. Hancock swarmed under, and he's brought down again.
He wanted to throw.
Robert Fulton and Donovan Heinisch swarming in and bringing down the 6'4 junior deep in the backfield.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Robert Fulton having a very, very impressive game here in the first half.
Fulton's been a menace on the defensive line. The 5'11", 190-pound junior at defensive end. Not particularly big in stature, but he's been a speed demon for the Vikings.
Absolutely. Great hand positioning and winning those up-front battles with the hand-to-hand combat.
Olin on 4th and long will punt, and he punts away over to the track on the far side in front of the Tartan's Cafe here at Carnegie Mellon.
So they've made it abundantly clear that they want nothing to do with the return game of the Vikings, so they're just directionally kicking out of bounds every single chance they get.
And Central Catholic will take over, 1st and 10. Ball will be spotted at the 35-yard line. We'll take a commercial break here on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Sports Network. Vikings up 28-0.
Ace, a skilled sharpshooter in their respective tradecraft. Do you have what it takes to be an ace?
Well, we hope you enjoy that 10-second commercial break. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Gannon Carruthers runs to the near sideline, has a block. But nothing more as that hole gets quickly closed up and is brought down by the safety Dylan Gallagher. He gets out to the 40-yard line. 2nd down and 5. And for as run-heavy as Central Catholic has been, Carruthers hasn't been as active, or at least not as nearly as active as last week.
No, not at all. And again, he did have a score on, I believe it was their second drive of the game. But yeah, definitely not nearly as heavily involved as he was last week in their win at North Allegheny. So we'll see if that's a trend or if that's strategy.
Screen pass to Jackson. The 3rd or 4th time we've seen this. Jackson wiggles free. Jackson stood up, though, and he'll be mugged and pushed backward by Aiden Lysak. However, it is enough for a 1st down on the screen pass from Wayner to Brandon Jackson.
Yeah, Brandon Jackson technically listed at 5'7", 165, but if you stand next to him, he might not be that big. So when Aiden Lysak at 6'4", 220 wraps him up, kind of disappeared.
Ball's in midfield. Carruthers, nowhere to go again. Credit to Seneca Valley's defense. They've keyed in on Carruthers. The problem is they haven't accounted for the screen game with Brandon Jackson and also the other receivers receiving threats in Oldsman and Settles, who score the other touchdowns.
Yeah, and Brandon Jackson out of the game right now, having a little bit of an equipment issue with his shoulder pads, so we'll see where Wayner chooses to go.
It'll be 2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard pickup by Carruthers on the ground. Ball is at the Seneca Valley 49-yard line. Central Catholic up 28-0 here on this crisp first day of October. Carruthers, and again he's stuffed. Brian Olin makes the stop and flexes for his teammates as Carruthers is limited to a pickup of 1, 3rd down and 8.
I mean, I appreciate the passion by the 6'3" senior Brian Olin, but you got to look at the scoreboard, pal.
Well, if you're down 28-0, if you're on the losing end at this point, turn off the scoreboard and just play and have fun.
Yeah.
At least that's the way that you got to look at it if you're Seneca Valley. 3rd down and 8 for Central Catholic as the quarterback Wayner, the superstar sophomore at quarterback, fakes the handoff, screen pass again to Jackson. And it was read beautifully, though, by Chris Diapollonia, and he brings him down at the 43. And this will send out the punting.
Shoestring, though.
Yep.
Jackson was almost off to the races. He had blockers next to him and in front of him. Very, very good play by number 2, Chris Diapolina.
But to his credit, I don't think that play goes anywhere if Diapollonia, well, I should say this, that play gets sprung out for more if Diapollonia doesn't read it as well as he did.
Absolutely, yeah. He got a really good jump on the ball. And speaking of jumps, Vikings offense staying out of the field. Maybe they go with a hard count.
4th down and 3, Wayner under center. Younger with 2 H-backs, him and Oldsman, and we got flags.
And will this be a false start? Let's see.
I think it is.
Yeah, indications would suggest as the punt team is coming out on the field for the Vikings.
Yeah, they tried to get Seneca Valley to jump. Instead, they ran the play clock down, so they'll send out the punt team for Matt Shearer, who was punted 16 times now after punting on his first possession. The deep man for Seneca Valley is Dworick. And Shearer's going to fake it. Shearer is stuffed as he's brought down right at the line of scrimmage. A shoestring tackle made by Wayne Peart. But Seneca Valley will take over 1st and 10 right around midfield at the 47.
Couple of the punt team members looking at Shear as if that maybe wasn't the intended call. Was J.D. Younger having a conversation with Shear before he heads off the field. But interesting decision, no less. It's always an interesting decision when it doesn't work.
Right.
But
it's a double-edged sword. If you
Yeah.
make it, you're a genius. If you don't, you're a bonehead.
Right. So it'll be interesting as now it's a shorter field than what the Raiders have had so far to work with. And we'll see if they're able to put any points on the board with 3:44 remaining in the first half.
Hancock's in the shotgun. Hands off Dworick. And bobbles the ball a little bit, and I think it's still loose. Central Catholic says it has it, and they do.
Wow.
The 4th turnover caused by the Central Catholic Vikings as it was stripped free and picked up by J.D. Younger.
You know, Nolan Dworick, the 5'10", 190-pound senior, you hadn't really heard of any ball security issues coming into the game, but with 2 strips on him tonight, just clean, literally, you are holding the ball, I take it out of your hands. Not punching the ball out, not ripping, anything like that.
The first one was definitely a strip. The second one bobbled it a little bit, and then Younger just reaped the benefits of it. 1st and 10, Central Catholic at the Seneca 47. Quick screen pass to Jackson. And he's brought down by Brian Olin, the big defensive end, who Olin switched from a backup quarterback to a defensive end position to allow Graham Hancock's offensively to take the reins at quarterback. But Olin has been active on the defensive front tonight for the Raiders. 2nd down and 7 for PCC.
He's also serving as their punter as well, so he's been a little active on that front too.
Wayner looks to Jackson, and again, he can't wiggle free. This is Luke Lawson bringing the stop, and we got all sorts of commotion on the far side as Jackson wasn't too pleased. And Lawson will run back over to the sideline, and we got flags on the extracurricular activity after the play.
Yeah, Luke Lawson made the tackle on Brandon Jackson. He stood up over him and was flexing. So Matt Alessino, the 6'7" senior, came over to protect his receiver and push Lawson off, so they're probably going to get unsportsmanlike on both sides if I had to guess.
Well, we'll see as the officials meet in a conclave over at the 45-yard line. We got 2:58 to go in quarter number 2. Getting another score update from the NA Mount Lebo game. North Allegheny has cut it to a 21-14 deficit. North Allegheny trailing the Blue Devils. Mount Lebanon, the only undefeated team left in Class 6A. They'll play the Vikings next week over at Mount Lebanon.
Dead ball, personal foul, number 55 offense, 15 yards at the end of the run, 3rd down.
So they get Alessino. It's not always who initiates the commotion. It's normally the person that retaliates that gets caught.
Right, and if you're Terry Totten, I don't think you're mad about Alessino taking that penalty, but again, showing some leadership, the 6'7", 235-pound senior at left tackle.
So now it's 3rd down and 21 yards to go. Ball is at the 42 for Central Catholic. Trips to the near side next to the right tackle, Fontana, as Wayner barks out signals. The sophomore handing off Gannon Carruthers. Carruthers wiggles around the right side of the line and gets out to the 45-yard line where he's brought down by Olin and Wyatt Craver, but nowhere near the original line of scrimmage. And we'll bring up 4th down and long for Central Catholic. And if you're Seneca Valley's defense, I think you can roll out the fake punt this time.
I think so, too. One of the things to keep an eye on, Brandon, is they're really starting to go after Brandon Jackson here. That time, Wayne Peart on the opposite side of the field, a little extracurricular with Jackson as well. So I don't know if they're trying to get in his head or if they're just doing it out of frustration. We'll see.
There is a lot of talking amongst Jackson and the Seneca Valley defense as Shearer sends the punt away. It's a beautiful punt. And Dworick fumbles on the fair catch. And he pounces on it at the 12-yard line.
Oh, man.
And nearly a disastrous mistake for Dworak. Instead of trying to field it with his chest, tried to field it with his hands on a
But it wasn't
punt
even
return.
fielding it with your hands, Brandon. He's running over his shoulder,
Right.
trying to catch him. Let it go. Peter, fire, like whatever their call is. Get away, let it roll, and just accept the loss.
It is a 43-yard punt officially by Matt Shearer as Seneca Valley is backed up again at the 12-yard line, 1st and 10. Now Seneca Valley, the last time they were pinned deep in their own territory, they did get it out to at least the 30-yard line, but were then forced to punt after stalling right around the 35, make that the 40-yard line. As Graham Hancock's hit hard by Specca as he
Specca
drives
the
it up
first
the middle.
to meet him. And then J.D. Younger came in to clean it up. It looks like we might have a timeout on the field.
That we do.
Might be the Central Catholic Vikings taking a timeout. We'll see.
Short gain on the play.
Timeout, Central Catholic. That's your second timeout of the half.
And we'll take a break with 97 seconds left in the half. Stay tuned on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Sports Network. Second down and 9 for Seneca Valley. Ball is at the Raider 13 as the handoff Dworak and nowhere to go again. First contact made deep in the backfield by Fulton, but Dworak is able to churn the legs forward to the 15-yard line, so it's a gain of 2. Another timeout quickly taken by Seneca Valley. Third down coming up for the Raiders following the timeout. And in case you missed the first quarter, I'm Brendan Rossa. He's Nick Jovanovich. All the scoring came in the first quarter, and a lot of it was thanks to the Central Catholic defense.
Yeah, the Central Catholic defense, led by some players that we thought we'd be calling on the offensive side of the ball, as Gannon Carruthers got a strip on Nolan Dworak. Nolan Dworak, yes, on the very first carry of the game. That then set up a Vernon Settles touchdown pass, reception, I should say, and then a couple of interceptions for the Central Catholic defense, and a 28-0 lead very, very quickly.
Xavier Thomas had an interception. Robert Fulton ran a fumble back, 65-plus yards to get the score to 21-0, or 28-0 rather. The second touchdown pass was thrown by Peyton Wayner out to Josh Altsman, a 33-yard score. And no offense in terms of scoring to speak of here in the second quarter as of now, but Seneca Valley has a third down and 7 from the 15. Hancock's in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Gets away from Fulton, but not away from Donovan Heinisch. He brings him down. Central Catholic wants a hold on Devin Webb, but Heinisch brings him down. It's a sack credited to him for a loss of 2. It'll be fourth down and 9.
Yeah, Heinisch hitting him so hard, his own helmet came off on the play. And in high school, if your helmet comes off during play, you're forced to sit out. But looks like he would have been out anyway with the punt unit now on the field.
Well, he normally doesn't play offense. He is a substitute left guard, normally positioned by Jackson Farrell. But Heinisch did start at left guard for a couple of games at the beginning of the year against Imhotep and Penn Hills. And we have Camden Bush is punting for Seneca Valley, and the clock will roll down with 48 seconds left in the first half. As
Seneca Valley took that timeout, so maybe they were missing a couple people on the field.
Well, they waited until the play clock got down to 1 and then burned the timeout, trying to give Central Catholic as little time as possible if it wanted to strike one more time before we head to the halftime break. Speaking of halftime, stick around. We'll have the marching band for Central Catholic coming up at the halftime here on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Sports Network.
And Central Catholic, obviously their marching band combining with Oakland Catholic to round out their numbers a little bit more.
Oakland Catholic guess you could say it's the female version of Central Catholic. Central all-boys school, Oakland Catholic an all-girls school. As Camden Bush stands at the the first E in Carnegie Mellon in the end zone, punts it from the goal line, and it rolls out of bounds, doesn't even attempt to kick to Jackson.
So they moved on from Brian Olin kicking for the Raiders on that last possession there.
And Camden Bush's punt is out of bounds at the 36. 43 seconds left in the half if Central Catholic wants to strike one more time.
And if they do, Brandon, it might make for a speedy second half, as 35 points is the mercy rule in high school football. So I'm sure just for morale's sake, they would love to go in with a 35-0 half into the break.
1st and 10, Central Catholic. Ball is at the Seneca 36. As Peyton Wayner, he has 2 touchdown passes on the night. Gannon Carruthers has rushed for a score. But it's been the defense that has stole the show. The offense looking to punch it in one more time. Wayner flushed out of the pocket, being chased by Seneca Valley. And he slides down at the line of scrimmage. May have lost a yard. It's 2nd down and 11. Central Catholic back to the line quickly. Wayner spikes at 25 seconds. And the clock will officially stop at 24. So it'll be 3rd down and 11 for Central Catholic.
Yeah, if you're hoping to put points on the board, you're going to need at least 10 or so yards, as Matt Shear last week, I believe, hit a 43-yard field goal against North Allegheny.
He's got a leg on him.
So a little bit of a leg, but still you want to get it much, much closer.
Shear has made 3 field goals from 40-plus yards. He made a 46-yarder against Imhotep, a 43-yarder, like you said, Nick, last week against North Allegheny. He also made a 42-yarder against Penn Hills. 3rd and 11, almost certainly a passing down with no timeouts remaining for Central Catholic. So much for what I had to say as Carruthers runs left and is brought down inbounds. That's the key, as he's tackled by Luke Lawson. And Shearer is going to come out and attempt a very long field goal for Central Catholic.
8 seconds left. Let's see if we can get it off.
A 53-yard attempt. Clock at 3. He gets the snap off. Kick is up, and this one won't come close.
Yeah, they were just rushing it. In high school, you normally kick off of a rubber block versus going straight off of the grass as they would in the pros.
So we made it to halftime. Central Catholic dominated the first quarter and has jumped out to a 28-0 lead over the Seneca Valley Raiders. We'll keep it here for the marching bands coming up on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Sports Network.
At Central Catholic, being connected takes on a deeper meaning. Since 1927, these hallowed hallways have been responsible for connecting young men and forging everlasting values. At Central Catholic, being connected means being part of a brotherhood. Men who may come from different backgrounds and have different interests, but men who share a fundamental connection, the Central Catholic connection.
And we are back at Jesling Stadium on the campus of Carnegie Mellon University. The Central Catholic Vikings leading the Seneca Valley Raiders 28-0. And all of that coming in the first quarter of tonight's game. And thanks to 3 turnovers on the first, an additional one in the second quarter, as the Vikings are going back to work in terms of tonight's game. The Vikings will kick off as back deep to receive for Seneca Valley, Kai West and Nolan Dworick. Kick is away, and it goes to Kai West again over at the 5-yard line. West has some blockers and spins off of another tackler. And he's finally pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line, bringing him out of play.
Number 9, Liam Kiernan.
Liam Kiernan, the senior. And it's 1st and 10 for Seneca Valley at the 30.
Well, let's see if the Vikings defense can keep up that same momentum they had for arguably the entire first half, with a couple exceptions from a couple Hancock's deep throws. We'll see if they're able to force yet another turnover. That would be their 4th on the night, because they already have 3.
They think it would be 5th because they had the fumble in the second.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, now we have 2 sidecars to each side of Hancock's as Kai West goes in motion. Hancock's under pressure, and he flings it out to Kai West, who drops it. And it's ruled an incomplete pass.
That's probably a good thing he dropped it. Would have been a loss of about 6 or 7 on the play, as there was a number of people, including Anthony Specca, among them, and we know the kind of heat that he brings.
Specca, Fulton, Heinisch were all in on Hancock, swarming under him, as it's 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass by Hancock's. Running back now gets the carry, and he gets met immediately on the carry. That was Wyatt Craver, the H-back. And he's brought down, first hit by J.D. Younger.
Yeah, the first carry by a Raider that hasn't been number 24, Nolan Dworick. Maybe trying to just mix up the looks that they're giving the Vikings defense.
3rd and 10. Seneca Valley has not been good on 3rd down. Central has been tremendous defensively. Man in motion is Craver. Hancock's the only man in the backfield. Takes the snap. Looks over to the near side through the hands of Kai West, as West gets thrown down by J.D. Younger. Seneca Valley wants some flags for extracurriculars, doesn't get it, and it's 4th and 10.
Yeah, J.D. Younger on the coverage, but what's interesting is number 22, Bo Waddell, was there, and he maybe, if his hands would have been out, could have had a free interception himself, but I didn't think he expected the ball to get all the way back to him.
So now we'll have our second sighting of Camden Bush as the punter. Originally it was Brian Olin starting as the punter, and now it's given way to Bush. Long snapper is Nick Heemer. He's a 4.5-star long snapper by Cole's Kicking Camp. And the 2 men back deep, Carruthers to the left and Jackson to the right. Jackson falls on it, makes the fair catch anyway, and Central Catholic will start 1st and 10 from the 37. And Jackson was lucky to get that back. He trapped it as he fell down at the 37.
And there was a lot of white jerseys around him too, so I'm not sure if that would have been the best play. Because again, you saw Nolan Dworick earlier for Seneca Valley, bobble a punt, and he was able to recover. But risky play there by number 10.
1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 37-yard line. Wayner in the shotgun as Carruthers dots the I. Carruthers gets the carry, has a slight hole up the middle. And he gets tackled at the ankles, I should say, by the defensive end for Seneca Valley, Logan Armstrong. Originally defensive end, filling in a defensive tackle on the interior line for Seneca Valley. It's 2nd down and 8 for the Vikings. Carruthers, the running back.
Yeah, Brian Olin was in on that last stop, too, playing on that weak side.
Carruthers, the sidecar to Wayner's left. Man in motion is Altsman going from right to left. And some slight movement along the offensive line. This will push the Vikings back.
Yeah, that was right guard Javon Wilkins who wanted to get out and pull a little bit earlier than they allowed.
False start, number 56, effect. 5 yards, still 2nd down.
So 2nd and 8 has now become 2nd down and 13 from the 34-yard line.
After the penalty, second
Wayner,
and 13
the
for
quarterback,
Vikings.
he's thrown for 2
34.
touchdowns tonight. One from 38 yards to Vernon Settles and one from 33 yards to Josh Altsman. He's in motion. Gannon Carruthers tries to wiggle free from Alex Paulson. He hangs on to the jersey as Carruthers churns the legs forward to the 40, make that the 39-yard line.
Brought down by number
Yeah, it's the
3.
second time Paulson thought he had him dead to rights in the backfield, but Carruthers just lowering the head and lowering the boom and making something out of nothing there for the Vikings offense.
3rd and 8. Central Catholic gets back to where it was on 2nd and 8 before the false start penalty. As Carruthers, we talked about, the main running back for Central Catholic, he just received a preferred walk-on offer from Pitt down the street from here at Carnegie Mellon. Wayner gives to Carruthers, and Carruthers has a crease. Carruthers into Seneca Valley territory as he's tripped up. Touchdown saving tackle made by Gallagher as he crosses the 30-yard line. It's a first down for Central Catholic.
Yeah, one shoestring tackle away for Carruthers. Again, nice patience letting the blocks develop downfield, but then once he saw his opening, he took off. And again, he had Vernon Settles once again on the outside, laying some nice wood for him.
Power formation for Central Catholic on a 1st and 10 from the 31. Carruthers, right side, lowers the shoulder, lost the ball, and I think it's Seneca Valley football it is. As the ball gets recovered by Wayne Peart, his second turnover he's gotten, an interception and a fumble recovery, and Seneca Valley takes over from the 28.
Yeah, and Gannon Carruthers looking a little bit shook up on that play, so I don't know if he just took a little bit too hard of a hit because, again, that's very unlike him for as hard as he runs, too, to not have the ball secured. So we'll see if he's okay moving forward.
1st and 10 for Seneca Valley at its own 28-yard line. As the Raiders offense, which has been stymied to this point, looking to get something going, anything going, against a very good Central Catholic defense. Hancock screen pass to Brandon Ross, who goes behind the line of scrimmage, gets back to the line, where he's tangled up by Specca and Waddell.
You know, I really thought that the Seneca Valley offense, not just because they fell behind so early, but would be taking way more shots downfield. Instead, they're sticking to all these very short and intermediate passing routes. So we'll see if that changes here in the second half.
2nd down and 9 from the 29. Hancock's low screen. Ball is batted away by Maceo Marshall.
Incomplete.
Yeah, Marshall doing a really good job just getting his hands up. But again, those short intermediate passes, I know you can only eat an elephant one bite at a time, but pretty soon you're going to have to try to take some shots to make this thing interesting, get back into it if you're Seneca Valley.
3rd down and 9 as the Viking defense looking to force another 3 and outs. Hancock's 3-step drop now pulls up in the pocket, and the pass is complete to a diving Luke Lawson. Gets the first down at the 43. Make that the 42.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just a stylistic choice by the Vikings defense or not, but Lawson ran uncovered the entire time, and then he just sat down right in the middle of that zone, was able to get the first down for Seneca Valley.
Ball will be placed at the 43. Hancock's all alone in the backfield. Throws a fade route left side for Ross. Ross juggles and completes the catch at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, they are going to rule that a catch. I mean, I think it was Bo Waddell there in coverage. Again, only standing at 5'10" is what he's listed at, but Ross able to go up over the top and come down with the catch.
Hancock's wants it again, but has to go out to his right. Pressured by Marshall. Passes flipped up and incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Malachi, Missouri. And a little extracurricular as Aiden Lysick bumped down Missouri, and Central Catholic didn't like what they saw, so that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10, but Seneca Valley dodging a bullet.
Very much so, and Anthony Specker really taking issue with that as the ball was in the air and feel like a cheap shot laid out by number 3, Aiden Lysick of Seneca Valley.
Craver in motion. He's the lone receiver far side. Hancock screen pass complete to Lysick. And Lysick can't get away from Specca. He's brought down. And the forward progress will be marked at the 22-yard line. Pickup of 8 yards for the Raiders. And a 3rd down and 2 opportunity for Seneca Valley. But even if they don't get a touchdown here, you got to think any sort of points will be great here.
Just for morale, if nothing else. I mean, 7 would be way better than 3 for Seneca Valley, but you got to take what you can get at this point.
Hancock's all alone with a 5-receiver set, and we got movement along the defensive line.
It was encroachment on the Central Catholic defense.
Defense, 5 yards, results in first down.
And it gives Seneca Valley a free first down after Elias Karanikos bumped into the center, Ben Carell. And Seneca Valley, for the first time tonight, is inside the 20-yard line.
And Karanikos just coming off the field now.
Hancock loses the ball, and he's brought down by Central Catholic deep in the backfield. That was Ty Uhas making the hit.
Yeah, and Hancock was very lucky to hang on to that ball. So Uhas popped him pretty hard and thought maybe he would juggle it on the way down.
Well, normally when you get hit like that, especially after you fumble a loose ball like that, normally a big hit like that leads to a fumble. So Hancock's lucky to get that one back. Second down and long for the Raiders. Ball is at the 25.
Yeah, about 17 or so.
Hancock's gives to Wyatt Craver, and he's met in the backfield by a tribe of Vikings led by Donovan Heinisch and Ty Uhas again.
And Craver slow to get up here. Looks like he possibly rolled his ankle on that run. So scampering off to the sidelines.
Third down and 20 from the 27-yard line for Seneca Valley after a loss of 2 by the H-back Wyatt Craver, his first carries of the season. Normally used as a tight end H-back position. Hancock's looks to the right side the whole way. Pass incomplete as he throws over into the flat on the near side for Lysek. And it's fourth down, and indication says that Seneca Valley, at least for now, is going to try for it on fourth down and 20.
I mean, why not at this point?
Yeah.
You know, it's 28-0 by taking a field goal here. It's not even a guarantee that you make that, but, you know, you got to try for something. But it also begs the question, too. Again, it's 3rd and 17 at that point. And, yeah, it was his second or third read, but throwing a 4-yard check down, you know, you got to shoot your shot here.
Hancock's on fourth and long, pressured by Heinisch. Running to the right, gets away. Pass is jumped into the hands of Kai West. It's incomplete, and he would have been short of the original line of scrimmage anyway, so Central Catholic takes over, 1st and 10.
Yeah, some interesting play calling there at the end of that Seneca Valley drive. They did a nice job getting down the field, but then weren't able to capitalize. So hopefully for Central Catholic fans, they're able to get another touchdown on the board here and get that clock moving.
Vikings will start 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. The defense bent but didn't break after allowing Seneca Valley to get up to the 17-yard line. A sack and a couple of losses offensively for Seneca Valley. Allow the Vikings some breathing room, and now Central Catholic takes over with Wayner in the shotgun formation for Central Catholic, as we'll get our first carry for Antonio Pitts. He runs out to the left side and gets across the 25-yard line, brought down by Brian Olin from behind. And Pitts, he is a senior at 5'10", 175 pounds, but he's been used a lot throughout his Central Catholic career is that running back position, second down and long.
Yeah, and Pitts also hurt for a lot of this year as well, which is what kind of gave Carruthers even more of a green light back there, and it's really proven to be a good thing for the Vikings offense.
Wayner throws the screen to Jackson again. Jackson can't get past the defending Chris Diapolonia, sheds the block of Vernon Settles. But Jackson's able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Brings up a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Vernon Settles, a 5'11", 150-pound sophomore, transferred in from Elizabeth Forward, where he saw a decent bit of time playing as a freshman and, you know, definitely making his impact here on this game for sure.
Timeout taken by Seneca Valley. We got 5:02 remaining in the third. Central Catholic leads 28-0 here on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Sports Network.
At Central Catholic, being connected takes on a deeper meaning. Since 1927, these hallowed hallways have been responsible for connecting young men and forging everlasting values. At Central Catholic, being connected means being part of a brotherhood. Men who may come from different backgrounds and have different interests, but men who share a fundamental connection. the Central Catholic connection.
Third down and 9 for Peyton Wayner in the offense. Hand off to Pitts. And Pitts gets around the left side. Pitts breaks free. Pitts steps out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Nearly broke it for a long gain. But as it stands, it's a 1st and 10 at the 44 after a pickup of 16.
Really nice job by Antonio Pitts, seeing that there wasn't really much in the middle. Did a great job bouncing outside and able to maintain his balance and definitely pick up that first down for the Vikings offense.
Thanks for joining us on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Sports Network. I'm Brandon Rosside, joined by Nick Jovanovich for Pittsburgh Central Catholic and Seneca Valley. Handoff again to Pitts, runs into a wall of Raiders as he's swallowed up by Logan Armstrong.
They're kind of seeing a little bit of thunder and lightning here as they're giving Carruthers the break on this drive, and Pitts probably the more shifty back, as you saw displayed on that last run to convert that first down.
Well, not only that, but Carruthers had that fumble on the last drive, and Pitts now seeing time at running back. Central Catholic nursing a 28-0 lead on a turning third quarter clock with 4:20 to go, as Central Catholic looks to blaze by Seneca Valley. Wayner gives again to Pitts. Left side follows his blockers, and Altsman, but he's strung out on the near sideline by Seneca Valley's Willem Craver, starting in at the inside linebacker position, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 for the Vikings at the 46.
Yeah, and that clock running for Central Catholic right now, again, probably a good thing. Again, with Carruthers taking this drive off, you know, up 28-0, you just kind of want to make, not necessarily be on cruise control, but you don't want to get anybody hurt that you don't need to.
3rd and 8 for Central Catholic. Pitts the sidecar. Wayner takes the snap. Looks over the middle the whole way, has Altsman, but over his head just barely, as he was defended by Diapollonia, got in front of him, and also had the safety to worry about Dylan Gallagher, but Wayner overthrew him by about a yard or two, and it's 4th and 8.
Yeah, I think the junior there might have got away with a little habeas grabus, as they call it in the biz, not letting Altsman get his hand up to be able to make an attempt at that ball.
4th down and 8 for Central Catholic. The offense will come off as Matt Shearer punts for Central Catholic. The long snapper is Cole Feldstein. Make that Feldstein, excuse me. Back deep is Nolan Dworick. Shearer low snap, nearly blocked, but gets it away. And it's a good punt, takes a roll down inside the 15, and it'll die eventually at the 12-yard line. That is a 42-yard punt by Matt Shearer, and Seneca Valley is pinned back at the 12 to begin this drive.
Yeah, 3:09 remaining in the third quarter here. We'll see what kind of defense the Vikings show here, as they're just trying to be content, keep it all in front of them, or they're going to take some shots like they have been throughout the first half where they were so successful.
Central got all of its points in the first quarter, and in the second quarter played mostly defense. And it's been nothing but defense ever since then. Final score just coming in. Mount Lebanon defeats North Allegheny 51-20.
Wow.
As Mount Lebanon will take on Central Catholic next week over at Mount Lebanon Stadium. Hancock's looking to the left the whole way, and falling down and making the catch at the first down marker is Brandon Ross.
Pass complete to Ross.
Yeah, Central Catholic had that pretty well covered. It's just you can only cover for so long, and Ross was able to just fall down in bounds there and get the first down for the Raiders.
Well, Ross lucked out by falling down because that throw was offline, and Ross luckily fell in the direction of the ball.
Right.
At least for Seneca Valley's sake. As Hancock's flushed out, there's a flag behind the play. Hancock slides down, takes a hit from Bo Waddell. Seneca wants a flag for that and won't get it.
No, but they did get a flag for a holding penalty in the backfield,
yeah.
So we'll see where the ball's marked.
Holding, number 58, offense. 10 yards. Repeat first down.
That was Devin Webb, the junior, getting caught holding on Robert Fulton, who had a tremendous first half.
Yeah, Fulton's been giving him a couple of issues here tonight, so it doesn't surprise me to see him trying to slow him down a little bit.
Well, Fulton, the junior, I'm sure he's going to get a couple of offers after this game. It's a half the distance goal, or penalty, I should say. It was marked at the 14. They'll mark it at the 7 for a first down and forever. First down and 26 to be exact. Hancock's standing in his end zone. Launches a deep ball, and it's over the head of everyone, looking for Nick Heemer.
Yeah, it was a good-looking ball coming out of his hand. Just problem is he was covered by 3 Vikings, so not much doing there. As he finally has taken a shot downfield on now second and forever, as you affectionately said.
Barron, Cushenberry, and Waddell all were in the area in blue and gold. It's second down and 26.
A couple.
Second down, the distance from Central Catholic to Carnegie Mellon. Screen pass tipped and incomplete. They were looking for Ross. It was tipped one time by a defensive lineman. I think Specca got a hand on it, and it was nearly picked off by Thomas.
I believe that was Bo Waddell there on the far side.
It was Waddell.
And he would have walked in no problem there. So
would have been the 5th turnover as well for Central Catholic forced tonight, and the 2nd defensive score. Third down and a long way. Hancock's the quarterback, drops back. Gets out of the end zone, and he can't get away from Donovan Heinisch. He sacks him for a loss at the 5.
Donovan Heinisch.
And Heinisch had a couple of words for the offensive line that he beat down on that sack. Will now be kicking out of the end zone for Camden Bush, the 6'1", 145-pound senior for the Raiders.
That was Heinisch's 2nd or 3rd sack to my count here tonight.
Yeah, we unfortunately do not have a stat crew, so we're doing it on the fly here.
I'm just going off of muscle memory. Bush punts out of his own end zone, end over end, and fielded at the 37-yard line by Xavier Thomas. There's a flag behind the play as Thomas runs out of bounds at the 27. And I think it's on Central Catholic for a holding or a block in the back of some sort. The flag is at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, a couple of Central Catholic coaches have their hands to their sides, so we're assuming it's going to be on them. We'll wait for the official word.
Yeah, the official's pointing Central's way, so it's good.
There you go. On the return team, 10 yards from the spotted foul, first down.
Ball we spotted at the 44. We got a minute 35 to go in the third quarter. Central Catholic up 28-0. All the points again coming in the first quarter. 2 touchdown passes by Peyton Wayner to Josh Altsman and Vernon Settles. Gannon Carruthers had a rushing touchdown. The other touchdown was a defensive score for the Vikings. Handoff Pitts. Right side, and Pitts can't scrape off the linebacker, Chris Diapollonia, as he shed off Altsman and brought him down in the backfield for a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a safety precaution or what, as Carruthers is sitting out a drive yet again, and now Josh Altsman falling down to the turf for the Vikings.
Yeah, that'll stop play at a 1:11 to go in the third. While we tend to the injured Central Catholic player, we'll take a break on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Sports Network.
Ace, a skilled sharpshooter in their respective tradecraft. Do you have what it takes to be an ace? Located in Homestead, Pennsylvania at the Bank on 8th, Ace Axe Throwing is the place where you and your friends can throw axes, drink, have fun, and compete to become an ace. Open Monday through Sunday. Book your tickets online today at www.aceaxethrowing.com. Discover who the ace really is.
Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Sports Network as Josh Altsman is helped off the field and is being attended to by the athletic training staff here at Pittsburgh Central Catholic. 2nd down and 12. Pitts, no, it's a fake going to Peyton Wayner. He keeps it as he fakes out a couple of Raiders and is tripped up at the original line to gain by Olin and Peart. 3rd and 10.
Yeah, if I had to guess for this Central Catholic offense, again, we have Carruthers out right now and now Altsman out as well, so trying to get out of here unscathed.
3rd and 10, Peyton Wayner, the outstanding sophomore quarterback, gets the play in from Terry Totten and company. Terry Totten in his 17th year as the head coach at Pittsburgh Central Catholic, 176-32 record. And Wayner throws a deep ball, has Younger, and Younger can't make the catch. It was knocked free just barely by Luke Lawson. And it's 4th and 10.
Yeah, Younger, again, a first-team all-conference on the defensive side of the ball last year. Was a Big 56 honorable mention as a sophomore, but not being able to do it there on the offensive side. But, man, that would have been really nice for Central Catholic to tack yet another score onto the board.
4th down and 10, and Central Catholic is on to punt. It's Matt Shearer doing the honors. He'll punt from his own 42, and back deep is Nolan Dworick. He stands at the Seneca Valley 12. Low snap, and Shearer end-over-end kick. Dworick makes the fair catch at the 15. We got 8 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Central Catholic up 28-0 to this point. I'm Brandon Rossai, joined by Nick Jovanovich. Thanks for watching WPIL Class 6A football. As other scores, we mentioned Mount Lebanon defeating North Allegheny, and kind of an upset as well, Baldwin defeating Norwin by a score of 21-10. It's Baldwin's first win of the season as Norwin drops to 0-3 in conference play.
Yeah, I mean, somebody has to win that game. And Baldwin coming out on top, the Highlanders, so.
That'll be the next time Central Catholic has a home game. That'll be at Couple Stadium on October the 23rd for a noon start time. Pass incomplete, dropped by Brandon Ross near the sticks, and it's 2nd and 10.
And 5 seconds remaining here in this 3rd quarter. We'll see what the Raiders offense has dialed up to try to get the ball down the field and hopefully at least get a score on the board for their sake.
But Central Catholic looking to keep the donut on the scoreboard. Dworick, nowhere, as he's hit by Matt Olasino on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Central Catholic up 28-0. We'll take a brief commercial break on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Sports Network.
There's a bond among Central people that extends far beyond the 4 years that you spend at this wonderful institution. Should I start with a necktie? That necktie sends a message to a young person who may be immature that there's something beyond you, and this necktie is a symbol of the fact that you had better embrace that something that's bigger than you. You can't replace that. You can't quantify it. You can't draw a picture of it. I'll hear about a Pittsburgh celebrity or a national celebrity, and somebody will say, he's a Central guy. And I would say, I didn't know that. As soon as that Central Catholic word comes out of somebody's mouth, there's a hollow feeling. Unless you're a Central person, you have trouble explaining what that bond is. You really do. You can say it with pride. I'm a Central guy. Still am.
Welcome back to the Central Catholic Sports Network as the Vikings leading Seneca Valley by a score of 28-0. Hancock takes the snap, throws the screen pass out to Nolan Dworick as he has first down yardage. He's brought down by Malachi Missouri. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for Seneca Valley.
Yeah, and the first successful screen pass of the many that the Raiders offense has tried tonight. So we'll be curious to see what their plan of attack is here in the 4th quarter, see if they can get some points on the board.
They completed a few, but none with a positive gain at least of 10 yards or plus. Hancock's throws the curl route. It's complete to Heemer. And Heemer again will have first down yardage as he wiggles free from a defender and falls forward to the 41.
Anthony Speck almost caused the 5th turnover of the night, as when Heemer was going down, was leaving the ball out, and it was almost cookies for the touted linebacker.
Seneca Valley with another 1st and 10, ball at the 41. In the first couple of plays of the fourth quarter, they trail 28-0. And that doesn't help. Donovan Heinisch gets in for his 4th sack of the game.
Hancock's brought down in the backfield by Heinisch and Alessino.
Yeah, they're crediting Alessino, but I think that was just him making way for Heinisch, who was able to squirt through almost untouched on the twist inside. And
well, Heinisch is so fast. He gets in the backfield before Seneca Valley can get out of its stance. 2nd down and long at the 30. Hancock's drops back, being pressured from both sides. Pass is intercepted by Devin Barron. There's a flag down as Barron runs to the near sideline. Barron's taken out of bounds at the 10.
Hancock's pass picked off by number 2.
yeah, the touchdown-saving tackle by number 50 there, Lucas Lambert. But be curious to see what these penalty flags are for, if they're on Seneca Valley or if it's on Central Catholic. Well, we have to wait and see.
Devin Barron had an 82-yard pick six against Norwin a couple of weeks ago. As we'll wait and see what the call is officially. But for now, the ball is spotted at the 10. Don't expect that to be where the next play takes off at.
Holding, offense, that penalty's declined. Interception, first time.
So much for that.
All right.
First and 10, Vikes at the 11.
Yeah, Seneca Valley was walking off the field pretty defeated before the referees even congregated, so it kind of makes sense. But we'll see if they can tack on a 5th score here on the night.
And if they get another touchdown, it will be a running clock for the remainder of the fourth quarter. There's 10:17 to go on a stopped fourth quarter clock. No scores since the first for Central Catholic.
And Antonio Pitts still the tailback here for the Vikings. 3rd drive in a row.
Wayner gives Pitts up the middle
Pitts on the carry.
as he's bumped down by a couple of Raiders, leading the way for Seneca Valley is TJ Border.
You know, I would like to think that if Carruthers was in there, that would have gone for a couple more, just again for his running style, how he's just able to lower the shoulder.
One would think, but probably wise to keep Carruthers out if there's,
Absolutely.
especially with this 28-point lead.
2nd and 8.
And you have a big conference matchup next week. Assuming Central holds on to the 28-0 lead, which one would think, they'll be set up with a showdown with Mount Lebanon, which is the consensus number 1 versus number 2.
Yeah, they really look to seem to be the class of 6A this year. So
Pitts, right side, follows his blockers, gets inside, falls forward to the 5. As Altsman had the block, Olin brings him down alongside Chris Diapollonia.
yeah, I mean, Altsman with the block, but at what cost? Because he's still kind of limping out there. So I'm not sure if that's really the best course of action. And we're talking about trying to escape unscathed, but we'll see if Altsman's able to hang on here. As Younger now, Younger shifts to the opposite side.
3rd and 3 from the 4 for the Vikes. It's Pitts, and Pitts trying to extend in. Ball is loose, pounced on by the Vikings anyway. It's a touchdown for Pittsburgh Central Catholic.
Central Catholic touchdown.
Just in case it wasn't a touchdown initially, it was fallen on by Andrew Fontana. And the Vikings are a point away from making it a running fourth quarter clock.
Not the way you drew it up, but Altsman definitely not feeling 100%. So if I were Terry Totten, I probably would hold him out of the rest of this game.
It'd be smart, especially with the showdown next week. Good snap from Feldstein, and a good hold by Wayner, and a good kick for Matt Shearer. Makes it 35-0 with 8:47 to go in the fourth quarter. We have a running fourth quarter clock here at Jessling Stadium. The Vikings leading the Raiders 35-0.
Yeah, I mean, with how quickly Central Catholic got out to a start, you would have thought that maybe they would have secured that still in the first half, but no less, they'll hopefully, be able to put this game away, not to sustain any more vital injuries, as we've seen Carruthers, sit down here for the rest of this game, and Altman hobbling off on back-to-back drives here for the offense. So
we saw Gannon Carruthers banged up a little bit, and now we've seen Josh Altman hobbling off a couple of times, so probably a good chance we won't see them for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Carruthers doesn't even have his helmet on the sideline, so.
Central Catholic will, after the next 8:47, will turn their attention to the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils, led by head coach Bob Palco, my head coach in high school.
Yeah.
Over whenever he was at West Allegheny for several years.
Yeah, talk about, him just being synonymous with that school and that program, and then making the switch, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago now.
It was the 2019 season, because Palco's last year at West A was my brother's senior year, and they went to the WPI championship that year, lost to Penn Hills, who went on to win the state championship.
Well, there you go. Consolation.
And the kick will fall out of bounds sagaciously.
Yeah, so that's going to be an illegal procedure because the kick went out of bounds before it got to the end zone. So number 21, Kai West, with a smart little play there to get some free field position for the Raiders offense.
So now you have two choices. You have a 5-yard penalty from the spot, or you take it from the 35. Take a guess as to which one Seneca Valley will take.
I'm going to say the 35.
You would be correct, as we have Seneca Valley taking over from the 35-yard line, and seeing a couple of reserves coming in for Central Catholic, as entering Liam Kiernan over at safety. As he replaces, I believe, Devin Barron.
Yeah.
First and 10 for the Raiders at the 35. First string still in for Seneca Valley. It's Hancock's rolling to his left, being pressured by Fulton, and Fulton brings him down again.
Yeah, you're not going to escape from him. You haven't all night. I don't know what makes you think you're going to now, but Robert Fulton, unofficially, is probably, at worst, a top 3 candidate for player of the game tonight.
You got a plethora of options. Fulton, Heinisch. Those are the two ones that jump out to me. Xavier Thomas, Devin Barron, they had a couple of picks. Peyton Wayner, he threw 2 touchdowns.
An all-around great performance for the Vikings.
Second down and 17 from the 28. Hancock's looks to the right. Pass is hauled in by Lawson. And Lawson cuts it to the near side and hit hard by Anthony Specca.
Anthony Specca was tabbed as a max freshman All-American, and with hits like that, it definitely makes sense as to why, because he brought the boom on that.
Specca's got offers from Pitt, Penn State, Notre Dame, WVU, Purdue, and Michigan. Some say that Notre Dame's the favorite, but obviously it's way too early to tell. He's just a sophomore.
Go to Purdue.
He's 15 years old.
Go to Purdue. What?
Third down and 6 for the Raiders. Hancock's pass low but complete to Lysek. And he's brought down a yard short of the first down marker by Liam Kiernan.
A nice little battle in the last 2 plays between Robert Fulton and left tackle for Seneca Valley, that being
Devin Webb.
Devin Webb, yeah.
4th and 1. Seneca Valley will try it. And Hancock's lost it, falls on it, doesn't matter, Central Catholic ball.
Well,
you had to try it.
You did. I'm not sure if that's what you're going for, but nonetheless, it'll be Central Catholic's ball with 6:46 on a running clock here in the 4th quarter, as the Vikings again trying to get out of this game unscathed, not sustain any more injuries, with that huge showdown next week between them and the consensus number 1 here in 6A, the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils.
Well, Post-Gazette and Trib Live High School Sports Network have Central Catholic as 1 in 6A, but Mount Lebanon is undefeated. So just from that, Mount Lebanon is the only undefeated team in 6A. And we'll have a carry going to Gavin Stanek. And he's pounced on by TJ Border and Aiden Lysek for no gain.
Sammy Bayer, check that.
Now we empty the bench.
Gavin Stanek, the ball carrier.
We still got our top receiving core out there for now, but
Receiving core is out. The offensive line is in.
just letting the play clock bleed down here with 20-plus seconds.
So realistically, the only change, at least from what I'm seeing, is Stanek is the running back. You also have Amari Shields, who's another back for the Vikings, but hasn't gotten any carries yet. Stanek. And he's lifted off the ground by Logan Armstrong.
Hit initially by number 56.
Logan Armstrong's taking out some of his frustrations there on Stanek, the backup tailback, as Antonio Pitts now back onto the field.
We also saw in that last play Vernon Settles. He comes out. And a couple of new receivers in on the far side.
3rd and 9 for the Vikings.
Looks like Luke Henney
From the Raiders,
is in on the
36.
far side. He's joined by Jackson and Younger as receivers on the far side. Near side receiver is Peter Gonzalez. 3rd and 9 for the Vikes. Under 5 to go in the 4th. Handoff to Antonio Pitts. And Pitts tries to race past a Raider, stays on his feet,
Pitts on the carry.
and he gets pinned down WWE style by Chris D'Apollonia.
Yeah, it's interesting. On the last possession before they ultimately scored, we had a couple of the Central Catholic coaches, a few booths down from us, yelling for Pitts to hit the hole, and he might have had one that time, but chose ultimately to bounce it outside yet again, but keep the clock running here for the Vikings.
4th and 8 from the 35-yard line, hovering at 4 minutes and change to play in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and you're kind of in no man's land right here because you're not going to kick a field goal. You can't punt, but you're also, not trying to, rub it in their face either. It's just a weird part of the field.
And they run with Pitts. And he's swallowed up by Aiden Lysek, turning the ball over on down. Seneca Valley will take over from the 32. And Chris D'Apollonia also in on the stop, alongside Willem Craver.
The Raiders take over on downs.
Now we're seeing the second string defense in for Central Catholic. The first string's night is done, and what a night it's been for the starting Central Catholic defense. 5 turnovers forced, 2 interceptions, 3 fumbles, one of which was returned for a score.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, looking ahead for the schedule for Central Catholic, obviously we have this matchup at Mount Lebanon next week. But then to close out the year, at Hempfield, home against Baldwin for senior night, and then at Cannon McMillan. So if they're able to take care of business next week, Central Catholic could be sitting very pretty come playoff time.
Well, Central Catholic, this is the middle of a daunting 3-game stretch as Hancock's screen pass complete. Brandon Ross. And Ross scampers his way to the far sideline. Ross out to the 35-yard line and wiggles free and falls forward for first down yardage as a touchdown-saving tackle was made by Jaden Thrift.
Yeah, Brandon Ross with a little bit of shifty footwork, kind of high-stepping, looking like Deion Sanders back in the day, but we'll see if they're able to get off the schneid here and snap the shutout that the Vikings defense has righteously earned.
45-yard pickup as Hancock throws incomplete to Hemer.
Yeah, a decent adjustment on the ball by Hemer there, but it was going to be out of bounds regardless.
So as I was saying, Central Catholic, this is the middle of a 3-game stretch of the other teams that made the WPIL playoffs. Last week, NA. This week, Seneca Valley. Next week, Mount Lebanon. And Central Catholic, also not to mention here, Carnegie Mellon has had its way with opponents. After tonight, we'll have been 19-0 in games at Jessling Stadium. Here's a pass that's blocked in the corner of the end zone and picked away by Central Catholic.
Liam Kiernan, I believe.
Kiernan.
Yeah, great adjustment because it looked like they maybe had Luke Lawson in the front corner of the end zone, but falls just incomplete as the clock's still running, but the ref is now stopping the clock. We don't know why. Oh, penalty flag. Possibly a sideline warning?
But nonetheless,
10 for the Raiders.
Central Catholic here at Carnegie Mellon after tonight will be 19-0. They have outscored opponents 784 to 124 in the last 19 games here at Jesling Stadium. Undefeated since 2010.
Sideline warning.
Yep, you called it.
Central Catholic. Out of the box, out of the team box.
And that's why coaches always yell, back up, and stay in the box.
Yeah. Yeah, because it looks like a lot of the walking wounded here for the Vikings were interfering with that play as the ref was trying to see Liam Kiernan out of bounds. So they're going to go 3 wide to the near side here as Hancock's on 3rd down and 10.
3 receivers to the near side, and Seneca Valley will burn a timeout with 1:30 to go in the 4th.
Hancock didn't like the look, and, give them credit. I mean, they're trying to make something here. But
next week for Central Catholic, they're at Mount Lebanon, and then they go on the road 2 weeks from tonight against Hempfield. They'll be back at home in 3 weeks from tomorrow as they'll host Baldwin on Senior Day over at Couple Stadium. That game will kick off at noon. We'll have coverage of that game on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Sports Network here on the YouTube page. We thank you for joining us here tonight. And Central will finish the season at Cannon-McMillan. Seneca Valley up next will host Cannon-McMillan next week. They'll travel to Baldwin in 2 weeks, then go to Mount Lebanon, and then hosting North Allegheny in the final game of the season. We're in the middle of the WPIL season officially, as Seneca Valley in all likelihood will drop to 4-2 overall, 2-1 in 6A Quad County Conference play, while Central Catholic will improve to 5-1 and 3-0 in conference play. Hancock's looks over the middle. He's flushed out of the pocket and brought down as he crosses the line of scrimmage by Matt Petruzzi.
Matthew Petruzzi.
Yeah, Matthew Petruzzi, the 6'2", 205-pound junior, getting a little bit of time here in cleanup time. So it'll be 4th down and long with the running clock as we get now under a minute as the Raiders try to get some points on the board here to avoid going home empty-handed.
Oh, they're going to try for 6 instead of 3. As both backs are now H-backs. Hancock's pressured from behind. Pass is incomplete. It's behind the intended target, Nolan Dworick. Seneca Valley will turn it over, but that's a moot point. The game is basically over with, the clock is stopped at 34 seconds. So
And the change of possession, yes.
So Central Catholic will either run a couple of plays or just kneel and end the game. But nonetheless, Central Catholic will come up victorious here tonight at Jesling Stadium over Seneca Valley by a score of 35-0. An impressive performance, especially in the first quarter by Central Catholic's defense.
Yes, sir, and it looks like we're marching out the victory formation here.
The best formation in football.
Fans, remember, in the interest of being good neighbors to our gracious hosts here at CMU, give a hoot, don't pollute. Don't leave your garbage.
Give
in
a
the
hoot,
stands.
don't
There are cans
pollute.
under the grandstand.
Haven't heard that one in a while.
How about that one, huh?
As
Here's
Wayner
something
takes a
every
knee.
day.
Wayner takes a knee. The clock will wind down to 000, and that's your ball game. Final score tonight, Central Catholic on the heels of a dominant first quarter shuts out Seneca Valley 35-0. As the Vikings get great performances, especially from the defensive line for the Vikings, and 2 touchdown passes from Peyton Wayner to Vernon Settles and Josh Altsman. Gannon Carruthers had a rushing touchdown. Overall, a very complete performance from Central Catholic.
It absolutely was. And again, anchored by that defense, whether it be Robert Fulton and Heinisch up front, Anthony Specca and J.D. Younger helping at the second level, but then also Gannon Carruthers had that strip on the very first run of the game for Seneca Valley. Devin Barron and Xavier Thomas with a couple of picks between them. Cushenberry, we didn't really talk about him, but that's because he was doing his job, patrolling the middle of the field, making sure that he kept everything in front of him. So very good performance for Central Catholic, and they'll have their biggest test of the season next week as they travel to Mount Lebanon to take on the Blue Devils.
And we're going to be looking forward to that one, watching from the side, but unfortunately we'll be on the sideline in terms of the broadcast for the next couple of weeks. We'll be back in 3 weeks' time as Central Catholic will host Baldwin in the final regular season home game of the year. But until then, he's Nick Jovanovich. I'm Brandon Rossat. We thank you for joining us and making us a part of your Friday evening. Your final score tonight, Central Catholic 35 and Seneca Valley nothing. Have a great night from Pittsburgh.